Hey, 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 you okay over there? I don't know why you'd climb over the fence. The gate is over there. Whoa, 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 hey, stop hitting me! Calm down. Yes, I'm real, and no, I'm not part of your imagination. I'm a real zombie. No, I'm not gonna try to eat your brains. I'm not that kind of zombie. Why are you in the graveyard in the first place? The only living people I ever see are the gravekeeper and the people who come to grieve. You're trying to learn history for your college class? Then go to a library or museum. Oh, it's local graveyard history for your thanatology course? That makes sense. Well, if you need help with anything, then Mr. Cameron is over there. He was an old cowboy from the West. Miss Clement is 4 graves down, and she was a sheep farmer and made a killer orange roll. Then you have a singing trio of Celestia, you, and Vibi, aka the Pellet Sisters, who passed in a tour bus accident about 50 years ago. You can go learn over there with them. Because I'm here, you want to ask me questions about the graveyard? I mean, thanks, but I've only lived in this graveyard for the past 90 years or so I can't tell you much about this one. Oh no, I'm not 90 years dead. I'm over 2,000 years dead at this point. I died far away and a long time ago from here. It's fine if you ask that. I'm not hurt by it anymore. I died in the fire of the Library of Alexandria. Well, the first one. Apparently there were 3 fires in total. Anyways, screw Caesar. But we aren't here for me. Well, you aren't here for me. You're here to learn about this graveyard. What? What do you mean you want to hear more about me? Like I said, I've only lived in this graveyard for only 90 years. This graveyard was built in the 20s. No, not the 1920s, the 1820s. 1920s is too recent for graveyards in a town like this. Plus, it wouldn't make sense for Mr. Cameron to be here since he was a cowboy. This graveyard actually used to be a lot smaller. You can see the initial spot where the gates were. It looks like they expanded in like the late 1910s. I should mention that some graves have been dug up due to families wanting to move their families' graves to be either with each other, for some reason in another state. You can see this, for example, of why Miss Clement, who passed in the 70s, is buried right next to John Doe, which is his actual name, who passed in 1900. Why do I know all this? Well, I remember in an older graveyard, I was somewhere out in the northeast that they had to expand the graveyard due to everything happening at the time. So I kind of figured it was the same here. So it's a fair to say I'm guessing on my knowledge of this, or as the kids say, I'm low-key bullshitting this as I go. From my walks around here, I could also see that this graveyard didn't take anyone from 1995 to 2005. As to why, I don't know. The gravekeep I spoke to kind of freaked out about it and had to get sent to the hospital after I tried to talk to him. He was a nice guy. I haven't seen him since. Then again, that was, 20 years ago? And a new guy has come, but he's blind. But knows his way around. He's a good guy. But still be careful, please. I don't want you to get hurt by anything that's all around here. Despite this place being a literal dead zone, bad people still come here and try to do stupid shit to the graves. Or people lying here trying to take a nap. Yeah, of course I try to protect the graves whenever I can, and it's fun to scare the hell out of the grave robbers. I try not to draw attention to myself since I don't want to get experimented on again. Yeah, I said again. I'm not going to elaborate. Hey, you want to know a good idea that would get you in good graces of both the families that come here and the people in the ground? Clean the headstones. Obviously, don't film yourself doing it, of course, but just do it and you can learn about the people who live here permanently, and the families who come and visit will really love you for it. I feel like if you do that, then you can learn about the flora that grow here, as well as some of the creative shit some of these people do with their bodies. Like, one person ate a few pomegranate seeds before they passed, or had them be buried with them, and now there's a tree right over there. From what I remember from overhearing the family talking about what they were doing, the person who was there was a devout follower of Hades and Persephone, who are amazing people, by the way, and they wanted to make one more offering to them. It's a shame they went on in such a way. They're a delight to talk to. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot to mention I can kind of communicate with ghosts. That's how I've learned about the Palette Sisters band, the very good orange roll pie, and so many others here. I'm pretty sure in both the city's library and the graveyard house's records, the obituaries and the short history of the people who are here are told. It's a good read, and you get to know the people on how their families were with them and the other things like that. I'm assuming it'd be very important for your class to know these things. Do I have any other cool things about graveyards over my years of being dead? Uh, Other than from my time being alive, I'm sure you know the two coins thing, right? Well, I know that some coffins had bells due to doctors being shit at detecting pulses during times of outbreaks. That they'd be like, I diagnose you with dead before they were even dead and cause premature burials, which, while they were still alive, luckily the bells were there and you would ring it after you were buried to let people know you were still alive. Oh, and in some places I've been to in Europe, that, long story short, if they thought that you were a vampire, that in order to prevent you from coming back, they would cremate you. But that was also during a time of some plagues, and cremating them would actually slow down the plague and eventually stop it because of the viruses getting killed in the fire. Get this. Apparently, in several European countries, they lease out graveyard plots for a certain amount of years, with Greece being the shortest amount of time being 3 years, but you can lease for more time with increasing price points every year if you do so, and the longest time being Portugal and France having lease option for 50 years. The average is roughly 10 to 25 years, which is a reason why I don't stay in Europe for long periods of time anymore. Well, I sometimes stay in the City of London Cemetery, since I can stay there for about 75 years, since they will use the plots that have not been touched in that amount of time. What do they do with the people after the lease? I think in Germany you can either be put into an urn or interred with a new grave or put in a designated grave in certain areas. I can't remember those since it's been so long since I've been in Germany. I stopped visiting after the 1930s. I do hear it's a great place now. You have one last question? Alright, then ask it. You want to know how I became a zombie? Well, it started when I died. I was thinking that I didn't want to. And the next thing I knew, I was facing the sky while floating in the Mediterranean Sea, about a mile from the library. I knew I was undead since I couldn't feel a pulse and some things felt off. Anyways, I think it's time for you to leave. Why? Well, the sun is starting to rise, and I'm pretty sure you came here at midnight and you were knocked out for several hours. Plus, if my timing's right, as well as I can see the clock that was implemented on Miss Viby's headstone for the song she wrote called Palette Time, it's about 7 a.m. We've been talking for maybe 10 minutes, so you should head back. You know what? I'll talk to you next time you're at the graveyard, and hopefully it's not when it's your last time. You don't want me to go? Thanks, but guess what? Wake up.